From the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas, it's the 80th edition of the Texas High School Coaches Association's annual All-Star High School Football Game, matching a cross-section of the best high school football talent in the state of Texas from the North versus the South. Hi again, everybody. I'm Craig Way, happy to be joined by Keith Moreland for this 80th edition of the High School All-Star Game. It's not only the longest-running high school All-Star Game in the United States, it's the longest-running All-Star Game other than the Major League Baseball All-Star Game.
And that's hard to believe when you look at it, but you know what football means in this state. There's no question about it. It's had some great coaches over the year, all the way from Darrell Rawls to Bear Bryant to some of the greatest high school coaches in the history of this state. And in the future, we'll have great high school coaches, but we also have great players here as well.
No doubt about that. Usually this game presents quite a bit of offense. We're expecting that tonight. Quarterbacks on both sides who can throw the football and receivers who can catch it. For example, Jake Parker of White House on the North All-Stars.
Well, I tell you, at 71 receptions in his career last year, he was a dominant force for White House. He has got 2,600 yards total in his career offensively. He's a guy that makes him go, and I expect him to get in some flat and make some things happen tonight.
Now, the South will rotate, as will the North at quarterback, and they have receivers who can catch it. They can also run the football, and they have an explosive running back in Jeffrey Wilson of Elkhart.
Well, I tell you what, a young man, 6 foot, 190 pounds, going to North Texas to play football. He's got great speed on the outside, 5,000 yards in his career, and a cross section, as you talked about, 2A school, but he plays much bigger than that.
Following all the action down on the field and also unearthing some interesting sidelines is our man on the sidelines, the third member of our telecast crew, Jeff Power.
Well, Craig and Keith, one of the great things about running the sidelines here at the Texas High School Coaches Association All-Star Games, you get a chance to pick the brain of the coaches. We might check in with them, find out what plays they might be running. Also, we'll talk to players right after they score touchdowns. It'll be a lot of fun, and we'll take care of our sponsorship duties. All that coming up. And here at the Texas High School Coaches Association All-Star Game in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, I'm Jeff Power. We'll be right back with the starting lineups.
May be hot outside, certainly in San Antonio, as it is all across the state of Texas, but very cool and climate controlled here inside the Alamo Dome as we welcome you back to San Antonio, getting ready for the start of the 80th Texas High School Coaches Association's All-Star Football Game. You see the jerseys there. The North is actually the visitor because it's down south here. They will wear the black jerseys, and the South will wear red jerseys. They've gone to the black and red colors a few years ago, and it'll make for a very colorful game as Joey McGuire, the head coach of the North from 5A Division II state champion Cedar Hill, of course now a 6A school with the reclassification and realignment of the UIL, and now he gets an opportunity to coach this team.
Well, it's such an honor for these coaches, these head coaches and their staffs to be able to come down and perform and do their job. It gets them a great opportunity to be seen by other coaches. There's so much to learn in the game of football. If you're not advancing as a coach and learning as a coach, you're going backwards. So that's what these coaches are involved in. 20,000 strong is this association here in Texas, 12,000 here in San Antonio this week. And it's just a great opportunity to get together. You and I both have come to this event many, many times. I have a lot of friends that are high school coaches here in this state, and it is that time of the year. And the excitement, this is sort of what goes on, because about 7 to 10 days from now, we'll be having schools getting ready to start, especially those schools that did not have spring ball.
No doubt about that. And the South All-Star head coach is Bob Gillis of El Campo, who's done a tremendous job in now 12 years at El Campo High School and his 16th season as a high school head football coach, and the sage of the Coastal Bend down there. Had the Ricebirds in the 2012 3A Division I state football championship game, so he knows what this is all about, and a former president of this association.
Yeah, and I think going back to what I just said too, Craig, I think the variety, you have those that are now the new classification, 6A, all the way down to the lower classifications, but it's important for all the coaches to see this, and this game is important. It's going to be a lot of fun. You mentioned it in the open. Could see some offense tonight. What scares me always in these situations, and most coaches, is special teams. You just don't have enough time to put everything together. So somebody that can make a play, make somebody miss, special teams may make a difference in this ball game.
We usually see a big play on special teams, a kickoff return, a punt return, maybe a big play on defense with a fumble return or an interception return. And Keith, the other thing that we always talk about with this All-Star game is the compressed amount of time that these coaches, and there you see Bob Gillis of El Campo, the compressed amount of time that these coaches have to get as much as they can get in. I was talking to Bob about this on Sunday, and I said, it's kind of tough in 4 days to put it all together. And he said, you kind of have to, for want of a better term, simplify it as much as you possibly can to make sure that these kids understand. He said, I had one of the All-Stars come up to me and said, Coach, is this what you ran at El Campo? And he went, not quite.
Yeah.
Because they had to simplify things very, very much. You see the captains going out there, Samari Wright out there, also Emmanuel Ellerby, Darrell Colbert Jr., and Blake Bogenschutz. Two of the quarterbacks we'll see, Colbert and Bogenschutz, there for the South. And for the North All-Star squad, out there representing him, Larry Hill Jr. from Cedar Hill wearing number 6 there. And you see in the number 3 junior jersey, Mason Reed, great player from Cisco. Zach Bishop from 5A, back-to-back state champion Allen wearing number 32. And then number 76, Colton Freeman, the big center from San Angelo Central. And our referee with the toss of the coin.
What an honor just to represent your high school, your coach, and to play in this game. And there's been a lot of good players over the years playing this ball game.
You want the toss, you want the ball, you want to defend that in and kick this way. Shake hands, man, and good luck to both of you.
Andy Scott, our referee of the first half. And it's also an honor for the officials. We have 2 crews, and that's another thing that the High School Coaches Association does, is that they'll have 2 officiating crews, one to work the first half, one to the second half. They're nominated as well. They go through a nomination process, just as the coaches who coach this game and the players who play in this game.
Yeah, and it is an honor for them as well. And that first game of the year, there's a lot of things that go on in this game. Everybody's going to be a little rustier at the beginning, but the first thing that happens, that first contact, that first play, that first time that official runs down the sideline, sort of loses his breath a little bit, everything sort of goes into shape at that point. But early in this game could be a little different just because we haven't had football for about 8 months.
Yeah, it's been a little while for everybody. And then many of these young men will be off to play college football. For some, it'll be their final ever high school football game. As we mentioned, it's a true cross-section of classifications from what was 5A down to 1A. Now, going forward, it'll be referred to as Conference 6A down to 2A, as the 6-man classification will be henceforth known as 1A. And the schools that were 1A will be known as Class 2A schools, Conference 2A, starting in the fall of 2014 and on up the ladder. 2A becomes 3A, 3A becomes 4A, 4A becomes 5A, and 5A becomes 6A. The North will kick it off. The South will receive it. And Matt Mars from Amarillo River Road to kick it off, headed just down the road to Canyon to West Texas A&M, will kick it off for the North. Back deep to receive it for the South will be Jeffrey Wilson and Austin Walter. So for the 80th time, the High School All-Stars of Texas will suit up and play, and we're happy you joined us. And underway from the Alamo City. Short range pop-up kick and fielded at the 25-yard line, and run out after that brief return at the 25-yard line was Chris Leidy, wide receiver from Fairfield. So the South All-Star starting lineup on the offensive side. And one thing that Bob Gillis and Joey McGuire both have said is you're going to see multiple quarterbacks used during the course of the game. Blake Bogenschutz will start it off, however. Young man from the state champions at Carthage. There you get a look at the offensive line. Josh Pelzo, Isaiah Vasquez, Brandon Locha, Tyler Preston, Richard Cervantes, Jeffrey Wilson in the backfield, along with Devin Bisbee, Logan Oddie, Chris Leidy, the receivers. And on first down, the running play to Devin Bisbee of Gregory Portland, turning the corner only for a short gain. In fact, right at the line of scrimmage. And then shoved back, and they'll mark it right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Good penetration early by that front, defensive front, four-man front here early. Little base defense. You could see some 3-3 type defense. We'll see some 5 defensive backs at times.
There's the defensive front to Roderick Alexander, Longview, Boo Boo Alvarez of Midway High in the Waco area there, and Jonah Noah from Stephenville, the down lineman. You saw the linebackers in the secondary. That pass a little too high from Bogenschutz, trying to go up top for Sam Strahan from Cinco Ranch High in the Katy School District. And that pass a little too high. VJ Banks out of Bryan High School with the coverage.
Well, Reed did a nice job here as Banks comes in, cuts inside the receiver, has his chance at the football. Very upset when he gets through that he doesn't come up with the pick.
So third down and about 9.5 needed for the first, just outside the 30th. Jordan Millar from Milano will bring in the play for the South All-Stars.
This is what you try to stay away from, these third and long situations.
Strahan and Austin Walter of Crosby, the split receivers at the bottom of your screen. On third down, Bogenschutz to the air and unable to connect with Strahan, and he was hit. Popped pretty hard. Good penetration coming from Duke Kaczynski out of Northwest High in the Metroplex, headed for West Texas A&M.
His pressure just did not allow him to set up to throw the football. They were trying to go for a 15-yard out, but that pressure made him get rid of it early. 3 and out for the South.
Jacorius Williams from Port Lavaca, Calhoun will punt. We'll see him running back and in different places. Corey Williams, as they know him. The fighting sand crab from the Coastal Bend with a kick away. Kick is away and then fielded, and a hard lick right after that ball was fielded by Parker and then knocked down there. So the North All-Stars will go on the attack now. And so after it was returned, you'll get another look at it here, Keith, and a big pop.
Well, I tell you, it was a big pop. It's not a number 33. I don't have him on my charts.
And it'll be first down and 10. Emmanuel Ellerby with that big hit, and here's the North All-Star squad ready to go to work. And at quarterback for the North will be Ben Arbuckle. Actually, it's Tevin Muse who gets the call from Mansfield Timberview. He'll take the first snap and the first handoff to Trayvon Hughes from Hebron, who's headed for UTEP. So the North All-Stars offensive front, you see,
going in a hurry here.
Very quickly. And Tevin Muse from Mansfield Timberview out of the shotgun. They'll spread the field with an empty set. Hughes to keep it himself. And Hughes with a gain of about 5 to the 47-yard line and brought down, bringing up third down and 5. The offensive front there by Tony Richards, Alan Johnson, Colton Freeman, Thomas Walsh, and Tristan Miserock. Trayvon Hughes in the backfield along with Larry Hill Jr. from Cedar Hill. Jake Parker, we told you about, the wide receiver, along with Malik Brown and Ryan Parker also at wide receiver. And the quarterbacks will alternate. Tevin Muse getting the start at the quarterback spot. Third down and 5 for the North. Outside and caught in a first down. That one made by Ryan Parker from Fossil Ridge High in the Keller School District. Headed for TCU as Parker hauls that one in for a first down.
Well, really nice job by Muse. He had a nice amount of time set up. It was a quick release. Get it to the outside. Good run after the catch.
The down linemen for the South, Michael Epley, Jordan Wells, Josh Roberts, and Jacques Guillot. Trevor Michael Buss, Samari Wright, and Keyshawn McLean, the linebackers, and then the secondary is Edward Thompson, Isaiah Santos, Grant Aschenbeck, and Carl Cunningham. Of course, there'll be several different names going in at different times tonight. We'll tell you about all these young men playing in this all-star game. First down. Sweeping to the left side, DeMontes Dowell from Malakoff. Down by Cedar Creek Lake out in East Texas. Going to be nearby Trinity Valley Community College in Athens as he swings around the corner for a short gain of a couple to the 39.
Nice job up front, pulling from the right side. The right guard, Thomas Walsh, gets a nice kick-out block and allows him to get to the outside, get some positive yards.
Second down and 8 for the North with Muse still in at quarterback. Running backs offset to either side include Trayvon Hughes and Larry Hill Jr. And Tevin Muse straight ahead as he tucks it in inside the 35 and down to the 34. A gain of 5, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
Nice job in the secondary that time, Craig. They took away the inside 2 double seam routes from the inside. They were trying to get a big one right there. He had to put it down, but he put something positive out of it.
North moving quickly here on 3rd and 3 at the South 34-yard line. Again, the empty set. 5 receivers. Muse wanted to throw, wanted to run, and the South defense adjusted to both. And coming over, excellent defensive pressure by Jordan Wells, the defensive tackle from Navasota, on the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
Trying to run a bubble screen to the outside, but their defense does a nice job, and what a nice job by Wells. Gets around his block, the screen not there, then you're in trouble. This is going to bring up a 4th down play.
4th down after the loss of 3. It's 4th and 6. Hey, it's an all-star game. You go for it on 4th down.
8th play of the drive.
So on the 4th down, and 6 yards needed for the first. Muse, the play call, has to hurry to get this one snapped and can't do it. He'll take a timeout here to discuss it. So 4 minutes into this high school all-star game, it is scoreless. The North is on the move here at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. All-Star Football Games 80th edition is brought to you by Ford. There's a reason why Ford is the best in Texas. Stop by your Ford dealer and drive one. And by State Farm. Visit texas.statefarm.com to get to a better state. 4th down and 6. The North going for it out of the timeout, and Hughes scrambling to the left. Muse throwing downfield, and that is going to be juggled and out of bounds as Tevin Muse was going deep for Ryan Parker. Couldn't connect with him because the South had good coverage on the corner.
Boy, I tell you what, good coverage that time in the secondary on both sides. Trying to roll to the right to get the quick out. That was taken away. Then he buys time by coming back to his left. Tries to lay it up. Parker can't get to it, and it goes over on downs.
So the South is held, and the South All-Star squad takes over on its own 37-yard line. And Darryl Colbert Jr. will come in at quarterback from Houston Lamar. Managed to get Lamar to the 5A Division I state title game as a junior. And where they ran into that buzzsaw from Allen, but still had a very spirited game there. Led it in the 4th quarter, in fact. And there's Colbert trying to keep, and he's finding the road very rough. Excellent job by Duke Kaczynski again, the outside linebacker, to make the tackle.
Well, doing a nice job. Zach Bishop up front too. Right now are winning the line of scrimmage, are those two guys from the defensive front for the North.
Darryl Colbert, who's headed for SMU, play for June Jones on the Hilltop.
Like to get out and get some space. They have not been able to find any space, have the South so far offensively.
2nd down and 13 after that loss of 3 yards. And Colbert from the shotgun will hand it. Here's Wilson's first carry, and Jeffrey Wilson, a nice stiff arm, turning the corner to pick up positive yardage. Jeffrey Wilson turning it upfield, an excellent carry. He will bring up 3rd down and short for the South.
Well, he's got that burst of speed. You can see it right there. Tough to bring down 101. Gets to the outside. Great stiff arm here on the speed jet sweep. Gets to the outside, makes the one guy move, miss, and when that happens, that usually turns into positive yards.
So it's 3rd down. After that gain of 9 yards, it's 3rd and 4 from the 43-yard line for the South. Jacorius Williams in the backfield, next to Darryl Colbert. And the motion receiver is Logan Oddie, but the South unable to get it going and has to use a timeout.
A lot of times that's just exactly what you talked about. 4 days to prepare. They were trying to set it up. They had too many guys in the backfield that time. Coaching staff saw it that time. Coach Gillis just goes, hey, let's take a timeout. Let's try to get this first down.
Yeah, with a makeable first down situation, certainly don't want to be behind the chains and bring up 3rd and 9.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So you try to work into that. You have so many different personnel when you're going to have 5 to 7 wide receivers going to play in the game, 4 to 8 running backs. You have guys playing different positions. A lot of times you just don't get lined up in the right position. They were in trouble right there.
Let's go down to the sidelines and check in with Jeff Power.
We're here with Dave Aubuchon from Russell Athletics, merchandising manager. Tell me about these uniforms, first of all, and what goes into putting these together. They are definitely good-looking uniforms.
We appreciate the uniforms are done out of a stretch fabric. It really allows the fabric to be worn nice and tight to the athletes, but still give them plenty of range of motion. So we've really worked hard the last few years getting new fabrics and new developments to allow us to do that. But one of the things I definitely want to mention, we're so excited about being here and being part of the THSCA and coming down to Texas. There's no other state in the country does anything like this. There's so much camaraderie, and you can feel it's like this is true Americana, where everybody gets involved in the sport, and you see the turnout here at the crowd. It's pretty exciting to be here.
8-year relationship. Thank you very much. Craig, back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Jeff. Out of the timeout on 3rd down and 4 for the South. Play action for Colbert, and could not connect with Wilson out of the backfield. Pass a little high as Jeffrey Wilson tried to leap for it, couldn't come down with it. Now it brings up 4th down, but on their side of midfield, the South will punt.
Colbert really did a nice job. This is nice touch. He didn't really have an open receiver. He had to lay it up and put touch on it. Just a ball that Jeffrey Wilson will tell you, I got to catch. And if he does catch it, he comes up with a 1st down.
So Corey Williams will punt for the 2nd time as we approach the midway mark of the 1st quarter. Ryan Parker back deep to receive this kick. Sky high, but not deep at all. Does take a little bit of a bounce for the South. This will not be a very deep kick. 19 yards on it as they'll go down to the 38-yard line, and so the North will have good operating field position. They'll mark it to 39, so call it an 18-yard punt. And it brings up, after that 18-yard punt, good field position for the North.
At both sides right now, the defensive front being controlled by both defenses at this point. And neither offense has really had the opportunity to get ahead of the change, Craig. They've been in 2nd and 3rd and long most of the 1st quarter here.
Ben Arbuckle out of Canadian High in the Panhandle, who's headed for right here in San Antonio. The UT San Antonio will step in at quarterback now. Trayvon Hughes joining in the backfield. And there's Ben. Right to the air immediately as Arbuckle with the short out and connecting outside as he works to Ryan Parker from Fossil Ridge.
Boy, just a really nice move. Put some zip on that. Did a nice job. Set his feet. Did Arbuckle. Delivered the football right on time. Right as Parker was making his break to the outside.
Montez Dowell is in the backfield for the North. And Arbuckle from the shotgun. On 2nd down and 5 to the ground to Dowell. Bounced it outside, but still only a short game for DeMontez Dowell as he takes it across the 45 to the 46-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3 for the North.
Yeah, but good vision right there for Dowell. He saw that he had nothing down inside, bounced to the outside to get something positive out of it. Brings up another big 3rd down, but this ahead of the change, 3rd and short.
Dowell checks out. Trayvon Hughes back on in the backfield for the North, joining quarterback Ben Arbuckle in the backfield. Arbuckle from the shotgun. 2 wide receivers on 3rd down and 3 for the North All-Stars. To the ground, lowering his shoulder and just powering straight ahead. That'll be a 1st down. And that's good, tough running by the Hebron Hawk, Trayvon Hughes, and moving the chains and picking up the 1st down.
Boy, you can tell it's an all-star game, but there's contact going on. You can hear it in our mics. He did take a couple of good blows, but he did lower that shoulder right at the point of contact. Keeps those feet going, makes that extra half yard to get the 1st down.
So a move of the chains in the North. The 1st down just on its side of the midfield stripe. We've seen the North use empty set, but they'll keep one man in the backfield right now, and that's the man who just picked up the first down, Trayvon Hughes. Arbuckle to throw deep. Too much intended for Parker, but Ben had to get rid of that ball quickly. Arbuckle was hit pretty hard as pressure was coming from the backside.
Yeah, he did. He had to get rid of it before he expected it, and Ryan Parker just did not see the football coming because he expected the ball to come out later. He looks for it, can't find it. It was a nice job of giving his receiver the opportunity to get to the football.
2nd down and 10 for the North. This time the North will, for the first time, show 2 receivers on either side as they split out 4 wide outs, with Hughes still the running back. And back to the ground. Actually, this is Larry Hill. Larry Hill from Cedar Hill takes it across midfield and into South territory. A gain of 3 yards to the 48, and it's 3rd down and 7 coming up.
So the defensive fronts for each side have been getting penetration. Again, 3rd and long here. Don't believe you'll see any blitzing here. It's just the front 4 coming after the quarterback.
One of those, Michael Epley out of Leander High, who's headed for SMU, had the tackle on the Larry Hill there. 3rd down. To the air. Nice catch. It's going to be very close to the first down marker. Kai Teeter from Lockney, who will go to Stephenville, the Tarleton State. He's about a yard shy of the first down, however, from where the foot went out of bounds, and it brings up 4th down, where he went down a yard shy.
His knee hit the ground about a half a yard short, maybe a full yard short of the first down. 2nd, 4th down attempt by the North.
Trayvon Hughes back in the ball game at running back. Ben Arbuckle from the shotgun. 4th down and 1 for the North. It's to Hughes, and he would appear to have the first down. It depends on the spot from where the officials are coming. No, they're saying it's the knee touchdown before, and the South is held again. Hughes extended the ball, but the knee went down first, Keith. It'll go over to the South.
Well, he tries to break it to the outside. Good penetration up front, goes to the outside, and you can see that. Hard to see right there, but that left knee catches the ground, and where the ball is when that point, he's down at that point. It's short. 2nd time that the South defense has turned it over on downs. Better field position here now for the South.
They'll start from their own 42. Blake Bogenschutz back in at quarterback for the South. And tough running, but turning the corner now and picking up good rushing yardage is Devin Bisbee from Gregory Portland. A gain of 7 to the 49-yard line before finally being forced out of bounds.
Got those shoulders square. When your big man gets their shoulders square, they can usually turn it upfield. He gets him. He's to the outside, and watch him square his shoulders right here. When he starts squaring those shoulders running downhill, a lot of guys don't want to make contact with him. He's a big young man.
B.J. Banks slid off of him. Troy Parker of Coppell finally forced him out of bounds. 2nd and 3, back to the ground. This time it's Austin Walter, but he's in trouble, and Walter brought down. The Crosby Cougar brought down by Troy Parker again, who led the charge for the North. That'll be a loss on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Walter might have broken this outside a little bit quick. It was a toss, but I think it's an inside toss and not an outside toss. And when he broke it to the outside, got to give a lot of credit to Parker. He did not give up leverage to the outside. Stopped him short. It's going to bring up another 3rd down.
Call it 4 needed from the 48. 3rd down and 4. And Leidy, one of the receivers, along with Loganati. From the shotgun, Bogenschutz juggled it. The ball's loose on the turf, picked up, but it's going to be short of the first down. There were a couple of juggles. Bogenschutz from the shotgun, and then the handoff to Walter, who had trouble with the handle, and it'll bring up 4th down and 2, make it 4th and closer to 3 for the South needed.
Well, it's interesting here. They're going to go for it. You're right. It never got on time. I mean, there was the play. The snap was high. It just never got into the rhythm and timing. 2nd, first time we've seen the South go for it on 4th down.
Close to 3 yards needed for the first, and the South will go for it on 4th down. Bogenschutz has Bisbee and Walter in the backfield with him. And it's to Bisbee, and he has the first down. Devin Bisbee, low center of gravity, and the young man headed out to the state of Utah to play junior college football at Dixie College, has the first down.
Tyler Preston with a nice job right there. That's a quick trap. It's all it is. It's a quick opener. got him squared up, and Bisbee got himself, again, gets those shoulders squared, gets downhill, gets the first down. The first down of the ball game for the South.
Nice block by the right guard from Georgetown High, who's headed here to San Antonio to play at Incarnate Word in that FCS program there. First down and 10 for the South. Bogachuts with some time this time and just too much on it, looking for Khalil McCathern from Smithville and unable to connect.
Almost a double move this time. It comes to the inside and tries to break back to the outside. Boy, just didn't put enough air on it. Did a nice job breaking open, Khalil did, but the ball had too much velocity on it instead of having a little touch to it. If you get some touch on that, that could have been 6.
Instead, it's 2nd and 10 from the North 47-yard line. Leidy and Adi, the receivers. Looking to throw. Bogachuts back to the wide side of the field, and with blockers in front, here goes Austin Walter. Walter and a big block downfield. You heard the crowd oohing and eyeing, but Austin Walter turns that into a big play. Adi with a big block, and it's a gain all the way down to the 19-yard line. It'll be first down.
Throwback, very well set up. Nice job of setting it up, going to the outside, gets all the momentum going one direction, comes back to the outside, does a nice job, does Walter, breaking, getting to the sideline. Watch this block coming up right here. Boom by Adi. That's a decleater right there.
Laid the wood there. And a timeout being called by the North to catch its breath on defense. We will as well. Half a minute to go in the first quarter, scoreless, and now it's the South on the move in the Texas High School Coaches Association All-Star Game.
Walter gets to the outside here on this little throwback, does a nice job using the sideline. As it comes back to the inside, though, just a nice job, and it's a legal block because of the fact that he gave him the opportunity to see it coming, and that's why it wasn't called a legal block.
On Matt McQuillan there, well, the defense for the North comes up with a big hit after that timeout, and they throw Austin Walter for a loss.
Penetration, does a nice job up front. And when you get down in the red zone, it becomes much tougher to score. You know, the defenses understand they've got very little yardage to defend. A lot of times you'll see in these type of games and all-star frames about getting to the outside. Get some space here.
Well, the South will have an opportunity to talk about it. We come to the end of the first quarter of the 80th edition of the Texas High School Coaches Association's All-Star Football Game. The North and the South scoreless here in the Alamo Dome. Welcome you back here to the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Craig Way and Keith Moreland with you. The 80th edition of the Texas High School Coaches Association's All-Star Football Game. And thanks in large measure to the good folks from Fuddruckers, the presenting sponsor here in the Alamo Dome. Well, the South has been on the move. The North coming up with a big first down hit, and in the first quarter, Keith Moreland, things very, very close. Just 40 yards of total offense for the North and 44 for the South.
Yeah, the defense have done a really nice job at this point of the ball game. How about we've already had 3 fourth down tries in the game. The South 1 for 1, the North 0 for 2 in the ball game. Third down conversions, neither team really doing a great job in that part of the ball game. 2 for 7 are both teams.
So to bring up second down and 12 after the 2-yard loss on first down.
9th play of this drive, though, from the South. And first time we've seen anybody get a penetration is now the ball back outside of the red zone, but on a second down. This is a big play, in my opinion, for the South. They would love to get some positive yardage right here.
Blake Bogachuts at quarterback as Austin Walter and Devin Bisbee with him in the backfield. And Bogachuts to the air, to the end zone, and beyond the reach, tried to connect with Jordan Millar from Milano and it'll bring up third down.
Good coverage again. Nice job in the secondary getting inside. When you're defending in the red zone, you want to get inside the receiver. You don't want to be behind him and leave that open. He made him throw it over the top of him. Did a nice job of being in a position as a defensive back. Your first job is, once they get to the end zone, get inside the receiver. He did that. Absolutely nowhere to throw that football right there.
So it's third down and 12. And, of course, Bogachuch is going to put it where if his receiver can't get it, nobody can catch it. Bisbee, the one man in the backfield. But on the reverse, unable to get on track is Austin Walter. A stumble, a fall, and a loss of yardage. That one will be a loss of 6 more yards back to the 27. Call it just outside the 27-yard line, and it'll bring up fourth down.
You just look at the play. I got to give Kaczynski a lot of credit. He was right there in position to make that play, even if Walter doesn't lose his feet. Not going to try a field goal at this point. It'd be a 45-yarder. So they're going to go for it here on the fourth down attempt by these two clubs here in the first half.
Sam Strahan at the top of your screen, and the slot up at the top of your picture is Austin Walter, and at the bottom are Leidy and Adi. Bogachuch danced away from trouble and then trying to go to Walter. Can't do it. It's incomplete, and the ball will go over to the north. And Dirk DeVries from Dublin had the coverage for the north.
That's the second time he's done a nice job staying inside the receiver. This is an out and up, a wheel route. As you go out and up from Walter, he tries to get him out and get up, steps up and has time in the pocket to deliver the football, but does a nice job staying inside it, coming back. And Speed's never had a bad day. That Macon Speed, even though it looked like he was beat, did a nice job of closing the door.
So the North All-Stars start from their own 28-yard line. And at quarterback is Tevin Muse. Speed sweep around the corner, and nice job to shake off tackles. Big run here. Malik Brown from South Oak Cliff will take it all the way down to the 39-yard line of the South as he goes for 33 yards and a first down.
Well, he makes 3 different guys miss in the backfield. They have it defense perfectly, but that speed and then the change of pace. He plants his right foot, he gets to the outside here, and it looks like the defense has got him stymied, but he finds it right here, changes direction, and then that burst of speed right there. Nobody can catch him right there. Gets down the field into South territory.
Finally forced out of bounds after that 33-yard run, and there'll be a false start call against North. Let's go down to the sidelines to Jeff Power. We'll check back in with Jeff momentarily. First of all, there's this walk-off of 5 yards, and it'll be first down at 15.
First penalty of the ballgame.
So it's back to the 44-yard line. And on first and 15 from the 44, Muse. Option read keeper and takes it forward for a 3-yard gain to the 41-yard line to bring up second down and 15. Now we're ready to check in with Jeff Power.
All right, thanks, Craig. Do appreciate that. Joined by Mickey Rogers right now, franchisee for Fuddruckers. Big $75,000 presentation, part of both Luby's and Fuddruckers, and great to have you on as a big sponsor here.
It's our 5th year, and it's a great program with 2 Texas companies supporting the Texas high schools and the students and coaches. It's a great partnership for us.
You know, we were just saying these guys are going for it on 4th down, left and right. They're going to need some Fuddruckers after this game's over.
This game's, I don't think they've had a stoppage in play. It's going. It should be quick.
All right, Mickey Rogers, we appreciate all you guys do at Fuddruckers. Back to you, Craig.
Thanks very much, Jeff. The deep route and chasing it down, trying to come up with the interception deep for the South All-Stars, but unable to come up with it was Carl Cunningham, the defensive halfback from nearby Cibolo Steel.
Got good protection up front. Tried to lay it up, did Muse. Just put a little bit too much air under it. The only person that really had a chance at it was Cunningham.
So it's 3rd down and 12 for the North of the South 41. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter, and still scoreless here. Rare to see that happen in the All-Star game. Muse, again, the deep ball. And too much on that, but there is a flag down, and it could be because Jake Parker might have been held up along the sideline. And this may be a move of the chains and a first down for the North.
Looked like there was contact when the ball was in the air. Usually that leads to pass interference. He really didn't make huge contact, but he put his hand out on him, and usually that leads to 15 yards and an automatic first down.
Pass interference on the defense, number 2-1. We're going to go 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Whistled against Edward Thompson of Fort Bend Hightower. Get another look at it, Keith.
It just gets his hand right out there on him. Yeah, if you reach up and put your hand on a jersey right in front of an official, more times than not, it's going to draw a flag.
He may have felt he needed that to try to
he was getting beat
contain
to the
Jake
outside.
Parker.
You know, 15 yards is better than 6 points.
So a reset of the chains and a first down at the South 26. Hughes will hand it once more to Malik Brown. This time the South defense adjusts, and Brown will be dropped for a 4-yard loss. They'll mark him down to 29, so call it a loss of 3, but excellent lateral pursuit to bring him down for the loss.
Held contained too. Cunningham did a nice job on the outside as the corner to held contained. When you hold containment, it forces runner back to the inside. Then that's when the pursuit gets there. Game tackling too.
So it is 2nd down from the 29. After that 3-yard loss, it's 2nd down and 13. Hughes has Larry Hill Jr. in the backfield with him. Hughes sets up the screen to Hill. And Larry Hill, nice break inside the 20. And he'll have a first down. A late flag coming in at the end of the play. Hill all the way down to the 8-yard line as he went 22 yards on that screen, Keith, and maybe half the distance tacked on to the end of it.
Well, I tell you what, we're watching this, and a lot of things happening at the end of this play. Well-designed play. Muse does a nice job setting this up, and then Hill does a nice job waiting on his blockers, finding his hole, then kicks it to the outside, gets it down inside, almost inside the 10. And then at the end of this play, we have some extracurricular activity. You know, a lot of times as a player, when you're playing defense, you're not sure if he's out of bounds. I don't think that was intentional. It just happened.
There's no foul on the play.
And I think that's the right call. After they got an opportunity to think about it, that was incidental contact.
They didn't even have to have instant replay for that,
Nope.
which of course isn't available at the high school level, but Grant Aschenbeck from East Bernard just kind of slid down on the turf, and originally the flag was thrown, but then picked up. So it'll be 1st and goal at the 8-yard line for the North.
Nice setup, though. Really nice job. As a quarterback, you have to have the patience to set up the screen. Did a nice job to set that screen up.
Well, Tevin Muse remains the quarterback. Has Trayvon Hughes off set and up in front of him to the left, but the deep back is DeMontez Dowell, and it's Dowell with the call. Dowell trying to pick his way through traffic and lost the football. It's out at the 6, and the South has come up with it. Dowell lost the football, and how about big Josh Roberts of Hempstead on the fumble recovery for the North, for the South.
Tried to make a move, come up with the football. Boy, I tell you what, get in the red zone. Second time we've seen the North get down in the red zone. He was trying to break it to the outside. He was trying to switch hands, it looks like right here. He's actually one of his own teammates. He runs into, the ball gets kicked out. Once it's down on the carpet at that point, it's a scrum to who comes up with it.
Give some credit also, I think, to Samari Wright for getting into that and perhaps in the collision causing the fumble. But Josh Roberts, the 6'5", 310-pound defensive tackle from Hempstead, headed to Northwestern State on the fumble recovery for the South. So the South back on the offensive attack, trying to move uphill, and it's difficult to find running room there for Jacorius Williams.
And I think this is when you're going to see a little more of a base football. You're pretty tight offensively. You're back at your 5-yard line. You'd love to take some time off the clock. This is where you can't really gamble down here. You really avoided a big play by coming up with the turnover. You just don't want to turn it right back over here.
2nd down and 10 from the 5-yard line for the South. The South will have to hurry to get situated here to snap the ball. Darryl Colbert in at quarterback. And they're not going to get the play off in time. We'll see. Did Bob Gillis get a timeout called prior to the flag being thrown? Yeah, I think they're going to say that the timeout was taken here. The timeout will be awarded, and we'll take it as well. 7:46 to go here in the first half, and it's still scoreless here in the Alamo Dome.
Come back, biggest play of the ball game so far from the South is get production. Comes in, and then the big man comes up with it. And that's Josh Roberts. He comes up with the football.
Let's go down to the sidelines to Jeff Power.
Thanks, Greg. We're standing by with Steve Warren, the president of the Texas High School Coaches Association, and also the head coach of the Abilene Eagles. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Jeff. Thanks.
What a great week, huh?
It's been a fun week, a busy week, but a great week.
About 13,000 coaches here in San Antonio.
They're all over the place. I don't know how many, but a bunch. Almost 13,000.
What's this first year been like for you as the president?
It's been a lot of fun. You know, it's great work, but working alongside DW and Joe Martin and being able to lead the association from the president's standpoint has been a lot of fun.
Hey, both coaches going for it on 4th down. You do the same thing, right?
Absolutely. An all-star game, you bet.
All right, let's send it back upstairs, Craig.
Thanks very much, Jeff. And he has done that. Steve Warren has done it, gone for it on 4th down here. And Steve's done a great job at his year as president. The honor is an annual one where you hold the title of president for 1 year. Of course, D.W. Rutledge, the executive director of the High School Coaches Association. Here's Colbert trying to bounce it outside after that nice 1st down run by Jeffrey Wilson, but nice job of stringing it outside. Zach Bishop of Allen did a good job there, and Colbert forced out of bounds.
Yeah, there's no sense making contact at this point. It is an all-star game. You would think in the regular season, he probably wouldn't do what he just did right there. But at this point, hey, go ahead and it's going to be a yard loss, but don't make contact right here. Don't give up the football. Can't make nothing out of that. He had 5 guys he had to get away from.
2nd down and a long 11 needed for the 1st. Colbert looking to throw this time. And open is Leidy to make the catch. And Chris Leidy, the Fairfield Eagle, hauls it in. It'll be a 1st down as he takes that one all the way out beyond the 30-yard line and a move of the chains, and they'll mark it down a 17-yard gain to the 31.
Colbert does a nice job getting his shoulder square, sets his feet, and really delivers this football. And he is open to the outside, cuts it upfield. Best pitch and catch of the ball game by either club.
17 yards out to the 31 where the left foot stepped out of bounds, and that's where the ball is spotted. Chris Leidy played in that 3A Division II state championship game with the Fairfield Eagles last year, headed for Abilene Christian, and now headed upfield is Darryl Colbert. It's one of the things he can do really well. Mobile, can tuck it in and run, and did just that. Out to the 38-yard line. We'll call it the 37, so that's a gain of 6 more.
What a weapon is when you have a guy that can get on the corner, get away from the early pressures he did there, and then make something out of nothing. That's what college coaches are looking for. They want somebody that can get away, has mobility, can escape, and then keep their eyes downfield. I like the fact that he did a nice job of still looking downfield to throw the football even when he was on the move.
2nd down and 4 from the 37. Colbert, a handoff this time, but oh my goodness, what a pop. That hit really delivered hard. A nice job of coming over to lay the wood as that one was sent down by Dylan Douglas of Canyon. The weak side linebacker headed for Abilene Christian.
Well, he stepped up and filled the hole. That's what a linebacker's supposed to do. When a coach says, all right, This guy comes to the outside. This guy breaks down the inside. There's going to be a hole there. Your job, go fill it. Well, that's exactly how you do it right there.
3rd down and 3 for the South. They move this ball out from their own 5-yard line after the fumble recovery. And now, a lot of running room for Colbert. A 1st down and forced out of bounds at midfield. That's a gain of 13 yards and another 1st down for the South.
Well, the first thing that you saw right there is Coach Gillis look, hey, are you all right? An awkward ending to that play from Colbert. If you're watching it, he breaks to the outside here, feels the pressure, goes to his right, but as he gets into the open space right here, a little bit of an awkward move. You weren't sure if that was any kind of pull. First thing that Bob Gillis does, he's right there, says, hey, are you all right? He says, oh, I'm ready to go.
And he is out there. It's 1st down. Wilson shifting out of the backfield as a receiver now for the South. And looking to throw is Colbert. Downfield for Strahan. Can't connect with him. Coverage out there from Matt McQuillan of Keller Central.
As a quarterback, you really need to know your offense, and he's just learned this. He had Jeffrey Wilson out of the slot running wide open in the center of the field, but you're not sure when you're right here, you're not sure where everybody's supposed to be because you just haven't had the opportunity, but you can see the backside Wilson running wide open out of the slot.
2nd down and 10 from midfield. Logan Oddie. Wilson remains a wide receiver, as well as Chris Leidy, who had the big catch a few minutes ago. The receiver screen set up to Wilson this time, trying to shake tackles and does. Now with a blocker in front, Colbert even throws a block. And Wilson finally dragged down from behind by Zach Bishop. But that's a gain of 19 more down to the North 31.
Well, we highlighted him at the beginning of the show. He is electric. He's a young man from Elkhart on his way to North Texas. He is very good in open space, 190 pounds, and he shows you right there, he's got great vision. He just sees the blocker to the outside on the bubble screen. He feels the pressure right here, tries to get it back to the inside, and then the stop and start right here is what's amazing to me. Then he changes direction, and that speed, there's no substitute for it when he gets to the outside.
How about Colbert with a block as well? Now back to the air and looking for Logan Oddie, and just beyond his reach out of the end zone. It's incomplete.
This is the 11th play of this drive, Craig, started back at their own 5-yard line. And so this is a wonderful way to finish. It started at the 8:36 mark here of the 2nd quarter. They would love to find a way to put this ball in the end zone and use the rest of this first half clock.
South getting in some fresh faces. Charles Simpson from Chilton at one receiver spot. Wilson, the motion man, and it is Wilson who gets the call, and he lunges forward, but he's popped pretty hard after a gain of about 3 by Duke Kaczynski.
Well, you've said his name a few times tonight. He's done a nice job on the defensive end. He comes out of the game after that play. He's been out there an awful lot. This is, you know, these guys are probably not all that football ready. They need, you know, to play a full football game after 4 days of work. Yes, they've been working, getting ready, but you know, it's not like you've got a little spring training leading into this.
3rd down and 7 for the South. So they'll scramble to get their receivers in position. Leidy and Simpson. Pressure for Colbert, and a big defensive hit coming his way. Was that the Duke? It was the Duke. Duke Kaczynski who landed in there.
He's had a marvelous football game at this point. He's been in control of his job. No penetration, nobody getting around him, and he just keeps fighting, and he's right there in the position. That's what you do as a defensive end. You get penetration, don't let the quarterback outside.
Well, the South has moved it from its 5-yard line all the way down now to the North 37. They had it as close as the 31, but now it's 4th down and 16 for the South, going for it here, under 3 minutes to go in the half. Colbert to throw. On the scramble. deep downfield and incomplete. A chance for a catch, a chance for an interception. The end result, an incomplete pass, and once more, a 4th down stop, this time by the North defense.
Both defensives have stops on 4th down, over on downs. It really was a nice drive. A 13-play drive, though, Craig, starting at their own 5-yard line. Took a ton of time off the clock, well over 6 minutes, right at 6 minutes, 5 minutes and 59 seconds off of the clock. So the North does get the football back. Defense has been that's been the subject of this first half, there's no doubt about it.
Each team with a timeout. The North from its own 37. And Luke Dacey in at quarterback, first down, a big hit and in some trouble trying to work his way upfield as Mason Reed from Cisco. Well, let me tell you about these two kids from West Texas. First at quarterback, Luke Dacey from Wall High School led the Hawks all the way to the 2A Division I state title round before falling. He's in at quarterback for the first time. And then the young man there, he took a big hit and tried to turn something to nothing. And that's a lot of what Mason Reed did in leading the Cisco Lobos to a 2A state championship last December.
It's exciting to see those players play in this championship game. I love the fact that you have such a variety from the whole state.
It is 2nd down. And look at the big run there, and there goes Luke Dacey. Dacey finally run out of bounds. That's what Dacey did in Guy Houston's attack, which was triple option based at Wall, and we saw him execute the option to perfection.
Well, it's a zone read, and he just reads it perfectly. The defensive end comes down to the inside, he pulls it back out, and when he does, all he sees is space. As Schultz right here, the defense end breaks down, takes the running back, and all he's got, Dacey to the outside, is put the speed on, and all of a sudden, here comes the North back inside the red zone.
It's the longest play from scrimmage so far. 52 yards and a first down. Again, to Reed, and in trouble as he'll go down. And again, excellent penetration by the South defensive front.
Well, they do, and all of a sudden now they go back to a passing game as Dacey is that running type quarterback, and they go back now to a wide receiver to Arbuckle.
So
and their wide receiver package.
Wide receivers out there on the field. Arbuckle in at quarterback. Larry Hill the running back. In a passing situation on 2nd down and 12. Arbuckle looking for Parker and can't connect. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
That time it's what you call a rip route, when you whip inside the defender and then you ease it to the outside, trying to get away from the safety. Just put a little bit too much on it, trying to get to the pylon that time. As a safety right there, that's the one play you really fear, because it looks like he's coming to the inside. You read him coming to the inside as a wide receiver, and then, oh, all of a sudden I got to get to the pylon.
3rd down and 12, and the South is going to call its final timeout on defense here. So, under a minute to go in the first half. The North still bidding for the game's first score. .58 seconds to go in the first half, and out of the timeout, it is 3rd down and 12 at the 19-yard line. And this is going to be a flip, reverse pass, option pass, and caught for the touchdown. In the corner, Jake Parker for the score to get the North on the board.
Well, you talked about what he did at White House. We highlighted him in the open. A little pitch back pass, and Parker does a great job catching the ball at the top of his leap at the highest point, comes down with the 6, and the North gets on the board.
19 yards, a little flip, option pass, and another look.
Just comes in, looks like the speed option, but it goes to the outside.
And how about Clark Ashmore, the quarterback from Wellington, who's been on defense, but he quarterbacked the Wellington Skyrockets to the Class A Division II state championship, and it's Ashmore on the touchdown pass. The extra point. is good by Matt Mars, and the North does break through with the first points and the first touchdown of the ball game with 48 seconds to go in the first half. Clark Ashmore was an all-state quarterback for Wellington and led the Wellington Skyrockets to the Class A Division II State Football Championship last December at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, and he had been lined up as a defensive player for the North, but Joey McGuire sending him in there, and on that little option flip, Ashmore obviously as a high school quarterback capable of throwing, connecting with Jake Park.
Well, the other thing is that they've been so successful running the speed option, so it looks like the speed option the whole way. Ashmore stops when he comes in after he gets the football, steps up, finds Jake Parker. That is a 5-play, 63-yard drive, Craig. It goes a little bit less than 2 minutes on the drive.
Well, watch it again here on the execution by the two quarterbacks.
You're right. Ashmore comes in motion. It's been a big play for him all day. The whole defense slides thinking it's the speed option, goes up, and then I like Parker. He does a nice job catching that at the top of his leap to come down with it, get the only points here of the first half.
So to kick it off is Matt Mars, as the North has scored just here before the first half is done. Austin Walter settles under this kickoff and will field it at the 9-yard line. Walter outside with running room. Finally forced out of bounds at the 37-yard line. So the South, good field position, but only 40 seconds and no timeouts. Actually, one timeout remaining here before the first half is done.
Well, I think you got to put the football up here. A lot of times you can see bubble screen in this situation. I've had a couple of really good offensive coaches in my life say, when you're in these situations less than 2 minutes, the first down, the most important. Got to get it quickly. Gets time on the clock, allows you to get back to the line of scrimmage. So this first play, very important to get a first down and stop the clock.
Bogan shoots back in at quarterback for the South. Bubble screen to Wilson, and then a flip back to Walter, who couldn't hold it, drops it. And it'll go as a big loss on the play, and the clock moves, and the South may decide that's enough for the first half.
A little hook and ladder right there. Bubble screen to the outside. And Wilson gets it, and then you got the hook and ladder right here. Get the defense coming after you, then as the defense comes up, just didn't get the exchange. I think you let the time run out here. I would not, if I'm in this situation, if I'm Coach Gillis, I'm saying, just go ahead and let the clock run out.
And that's exactly the call. So that's going to do it for the first half. A half largely dominated by the defense. Oh, wait a minute now. The South, did the South use its final timeout? Hold on.
They did.
And I think the South used its final timeout. So there's 1 second here to go. So we've not reached the end of the first half yet. We still have 1 second. There'll be. That's the final timeout called by the South. So the South will have one play, and that could be for something with some trickery involved.
Yeah, it's razzle-dazzle somewhere here. And if I'm playing defense, I'm not letting anybody behind me. I'm taking a pass interference penalty and taking the 15 yards at this point.
Sam Strahan, one of the receivers. Jeffrey Wilson lining up in the slot as a receiver. Also, Logan Oddie as receiver, and Chris Leidy. Bogan shoots with Austin Walter offset to his right. Will take the snap for what should be the final play of the first half. Blake Bogan shoots. Pressure coming, but unleashes it. Deep downfield, and that ball's knocked down. Plenty of black jerseys there to keep Logan Oddie away from the football. So that's going to do it for the first half. The North with a 7-0 lead, and let's go down to the field to Jeff Powell.
Let's make sure we get in there and hydrate, okay? Because this is going to be a quick one. Hydrate, 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 okay? North side on 3. 1, 2, 3. North side. Good job.
And we're here with Joey McGuire. And Joey, first of all, a quick touchdown late in the game. That's got to help here with the quick touchdown there, 7-0. Your thoughts about this first half?
Man, that was huge. You know, Ashmore's a quarterback, and we knew that we had a good play with him because he was going to – we talked about it all week that was going to be a touchdown. He did a great job. That last drive, not the last drive right there, we were in prevent, but Zach Bishop from Allen was the best player on the field by far. He had 2 huge touchdown-saving tackles. Just great effort, and then we ended up able to stop them on 4th down. That was incredible. Joey, what's this week been like? I mean, you're coming off a state championship at Cedar Hill, but coaching these All-Stars, seeing these guys who are in literally their last high school football game before they go off to college, what's this been like for you? Well, it's incredible, and here's what's incredible. We're sitting here in July, and you just saw both teams give effort like they're playing for a state championship with their home schools. And that's what's so neat because these kids have such great hearts, and they've taken this game so serious. Very good. North leads 7-0. Back up to you upstairs, Craig.
All right, thanks very much, Jeff Powers. So, a lot of hard hitting. You heard Joey McGuire talk about it. Just the one score, but the option pass from Clark Ashmore of Wellington in for the touchdown. Halftime here at the Alamo Dome of the Texas High School Coaches Association's 80th All-Star Game. The North leads the South 7-0. Halftime here in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio in the Texas High School Coaches Association's All-Star Football Game, with the North scoring just before the first half expired to take a 7-0 lead over the South. Keith Moreland, you look at some of the numbers in the first half and some of the big plays. The North had a couple of big moments early.
They did. They found a way to get themselves in position to go down and score. Great run here, tackling. A little bit off balance right there, but then it leads to a turnover right here. And this is a huge play for the South as they found a way to come up with it. Josh Roberts comes up with the football out of that pile. The South drives it all the way down, but the big play of the first half, a quarterback running out of the wide receiver, Clark Ashmore, into the end zone to, I'm telling you, the guy we highlighted earlier, Jake Parker, goes up, 19-yard touchdown, culminates a 5-play, 63-yard drive for the only score of the half.
Well, the North with the edge, certainly in the rushing yards, the South the slight edge in the passing yards, but the turnovers, big turnover to stop one North drive. You see the time of possession pretty close.
It is, and when you look at it, there's been a couple of big plays. The North has been able to get big plays. That is the difference. That's the difference in everything. The South hasn't been able to get out and get big plays.
So right now, let's go down to the field. Jeff Powers down there with South All-Stars head coach Bob Gillis of El Campo.
Coach Bob Gillis here joining us. You're out of El Campo. Your team trails right now 7-0. What are you going to have to do in the second half?
We have to score some points.
Yeah, that's a good start.
You know, we get something going and we just don't finish drives. And, you know, they had the one big play and, you know, scored. So we need to come out and stop them and go score some points.
It's been a hard-hitting game, though. We were talking about the physicality of it, not like a lot of the other All-Star games where it seems like no one wants to get hurt. They score a lot of points. This one is pretty tough down in the trenches.
These old kids want to play. Both teams want to play. And I think you'll continue to see a real hard-hitting game for the rest of the game.
Hall of Honor tomorrow. You excited about that?
Very excited. I hadn't had much time to think about it. We hopefully win tonight, then we'll think about that, and it's quite an honor. Very, very humbling about it.
Okay, very good.
Accept it. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. Craig, let's send it back up to you.
All right, thanks very much, Jeff. He is going into the Texas High School Coaches Association's Hall of Honor. Bob Gillis will be tomorrow at their annual Balfour Hall of Honor luncheon. Second half of tonight's All-Star game coming up right after this. It's been a busy several days here in San Antonio. The pace has only moved slightly slower than that in San Antonio, with the neighborhood of some 13,000 coaches from across the state of Texas, the Texas High School Coaches Association's annual coaching school. And of course, this football All-Star game, one of the highlights of the event, as well as we mentioned the Balfour Hall of Honor luncheon that will take place tomorrow. There will also be the election of a new president tomorrow. A lot of business for the high school coaches to finish up tomorrow, and a lot of business still to go here in this football game, Keith Moreland.
Yeah, and when you look at this football game, it has been a very physical game, much different than most of the all-star games that I've had the opportunity to cover and see, and you've covered a lot more than I have. Most of the time, special teams are a problem. We haven't seen that in this ball game. A lot of times you don't see tackling's been a problem. We haven't seen a lot of missed tackles in this ball game. It's been a very physical game. Been controlled at the line of scrimmage, only one turnover in the game and one big play in the game, and that's why we have a 7-0 ball game.
The North will get the football to start the second half. So for the South, it'll be Aaron Kennedy of Smithson Valley. First time we'll get a chance to see Aaron, who played for one of the best coaches in the state, Larry Hill of Smithson Valley. Aaron will be headed to University of Mary Hardin Baylor, one of the finest Division III programs in the country, and a little fake on the onside kick, and now we'll set up in the standard formation. Here's the kickoff to come from Aaron Kennedy. The 80th edition. The North has won 42 of the 80 ball games. The South has won 31, and there have been 6 ties in this all-star matchup. Kickoff, and Dirk DeVries on the return. Hard popping down at the 25-yard line, and that's where the North All-Stars will go to work.
It's interesting. That was a quarterback that made that tackle right there.
Blake Bogenschut's not afraid to.
I'm glad he's not afraid of contact. He's on special teams. He comes down and just coming flying in there and makes contact.
Big hit, and the North All-Stars will go to work.
You know, sometimes quarterbacks say, you know, I don't get a chance to get contact sometimes.
So, for the North, at quarterback is Tevin Muse. Headed for Tyler Junior College to play next season is Muse. In the backfield, nothing there at all for Mason Reed. Reed stacked up, and a loss of a couple of yards on the play, and Keyshawn McLean at a B.F. Terry High School in the Rosenberg area on the tackle.
Well, he was in the backfield in a hurry right there. Sense of urgency, you heard it, Coach Gillis. You can almost see right there, he said, hey guys, let's go out and get 3 plays, a punt, and let's get our offense going. So sometimes the defense sets the tone for the offense. If you can get, you know, a short field, get your offense a chance.
Reed remains the running back. 2nd down and 13 for the North. And it is Mason Reed. Reed this time getting back the yardage he lost on 1st down and an extra 1 to boot. A gain of 4 out to the 26-yard line, but you can hear that from our field microphones. The pads really popping. There's some hard hitting going on.
Cunningham does a nice job. Carl Cunningham coming up to seal the corner on the outside. As he bounces to the outside, you can see it from field level as he comes to the outside. What is a corner's job? Come up, square your shoulders, get help from the inside.
And that help came from Samari Wright. Cameron Yo. It's 3rd down and 9 for the North. Muse, pressure to come, has to get rid of it, and incomplete. Tried to go outside of Tyler Taylor from Waco High, but Michael Epley, the Leander Lion, bringing the pressure, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, it did exactly what they wanted to do. If you're the South, they come out, you're behind, get 3 and out, going to get good field position right here. And see if the special teams can't make a big play. Again, coaches are just so frightened in these games when you don't have a lot of time to work on special teams.
Logan Oddie and Sam Strahan back to receive the punt. And it's Clark Ashmore who threw the touchdown pass on that option. Clark from Wellington, as we told you, from the 1A Division II state champion Skyrockets. He's headed to southwestern Oklahoma State, not that far from Wellington, up in the Texas Panhandle. Ashmore with a good kick. Fair catch called for in May. Ashmore did a little bit of everything there on Wellington State Championship team, including punting.
Well, a lot of times when you play at a small school, if you're a good athlete, you're going to do all the things that you need to do, and he is a very good athlete. Again, throwing the touchdown pass. be interesting right now. The tone has been set. The defense set the tone. See if the offense can respond for the South.
So for the South, back to work. Back to Darryl Colbert Jr. at quarterback from Houston Lamar. Handing off and on the ground. A few tough rushing yards there for Devin Bisbee. Across midfield and into North Territory. A gain of 3 to the 48-yard line, and it's 2nd down and 7.
Boy, you got to win in the trenches, and boy, this defense for the North has really done a nice job. They have just not allowed a lot of penetration offensively. They've been across the line of scrimmage. It's been only the plays on the perimeter that have made some yards for the South.
Jeffrey Wilson flexes out of the backfield into the slot as a receiver. Joined out there by Sam Strahan. Adi, the 3rd receiver, but it's to the ground to Walter, and Austin Walter of Crosby, who's headed to Rice University. The gain down to the 45-yard line, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 4 for the South.
Yeah, just zone blocking up front, just an old-fashioned dive play. That might set up, though, to get Colbert Jr., Darryl Colbert Jr. to the outside, because if he reads that, if he'd have pulled that ball out that time, he had a lot of space to the outside.
So on 3rd down and 4 from the North 45. Colbert with pressure coming. He'll be dragged down. Jonah Noah from Stephenville with a lateral pursuit to bring him down at the 46-yard line for a loss. And it'll bring up 4th down and 5.
Good penetration from the inside. He just, you look at Noah, he comes in inside, just never gives up on the play. Colbert stops and turns back inside. He's right there to make the play. Might be a punting situation. It'll be the first time that the South has tried to punt the football.
And it'll be Corey Williams to handle the punt. Back deep to receive it for the North, DeMontez Dowell. He's joined back there by Malik Brown, who had that explosive 52-yard run in the first half. Corey Williams. Line drive kick, and it is Malik Brown from the 15-yard line, but no further than that, lost the football. The South is going to have it at the 15. Well, Keith, you mentioned maybe special teams, maybe a big break, and it comes with the turnover. The South comes up with it. And how about the young man from Leander High, Michael Epley, headed for SMU, number 11 right there, with a fumble recovery for the South.
He tries to make a move. He gets the ball secured. It's a low line drive punt, very returnable. It looked like when it first left the foot. He steps up, has it right here to make the play, makes one guy miss, and then as he's trying to get away, ball gets ripped out from the side. He's trying to get the number of who ripped that out from the side.
Meanwhile, to the ground for the South. I believe it might have been Samari Wright who separated that football.
I agree. He did get that hand in there, got the football out. And a special teams play doesn't come with a return, but it comes with a turnover.
Gain of 2 to the 13, and it's 2nd down and 8. The South with its best chance right now to tie the score. Logan Adi and Sam Strahan, the wideouts. Jeffrey Wilson lines up in the backfield again, and it is Wilson. Wilson shaking tackles and a stiff arm, and he'll take it down to the 5-yard line, where it'll bring up 3rd down and 2 for the South.
What an explosive first step. He just breaks through tackles. Arm tacklers don't bring him down as Wilson comes in, contacts right there, and arm tackle's not going to get him. Then he shows you that burst of speed to the outside, gets the first down.
It is enough for the first down. It'll be 1st and goal at the 5. Back to the ground again, and then keeping it as Bogan shoots for a yard to the 4-yard line, maybe a little more than that. It'll bring up 2nd down and goal.
This is a little bit of a busted play. I don't think Bogenschutz secured the ball quickly. He went up to make the handoff, and he just, at that point, he felt like, hey, I can't hand it off. I got to get something as I can get something, and that's exactly what he did. Put his head down, made a yard.
Boo Boo Alvarez in on the tackle for the North. And it brings up 2nd down and goal from the 3. South trying to tie it up now. Wilson back in the backfield as the South will line up in the I. Here goes Jeffrey Wilson. And here comes the North defense to stop him for a loss of a yard. Once more, excellent pursuit. This time, Troy Parker coming up from the weak safety position to make the tackle.
Boy, I tell you what, nice job. Everybody there on the defensive front. Cut the blocking down, and then what's your job to do? Phil, if you're a free safety, comes up, fills it right on the point of contact. Just didn't get any space right there. That was a pitch, again, not to go outside. That's off of the tight end pitch where you're trying to kick the defensive end out and cut it upfield. South
only 1 out of 7 on 3rd downs tonight. And they have a 3rd and goal here at the 4. Bogenschutz with Devin Bisbee joining him in the backfield. 3 receivers. But on the reverse coming around is Wilson in all kinds of trouble. And Wilson will be brought down for a loss. A loss of 6 or 7 more. And it brings up 4th down for the South, and Bob Gillis says, let's try to get something out of this and go for a field goal.
Yeah, that's exactly right, but you got to give a lot of credit to the defensive front out front. And that time is Hendricks does a nice job of not allowing to get the corner. He just comes up, forces everything to the outside, and by the time, even though he doesn't make the tackle, he makes the play that changes the play and forces the field goal.
Colton Hendricks from Argyle is headed for Central Oklahoma up in Edmond with the tackle. All right, field goal try of 28 yards for Aaron Kennedy. Plenty of leg on this one, but he can't get it to go down. Pulled it left. And after the turnover, the South comes away empty-handed. So the North dodges the bullet after the turnover. They come up with some sudden change defense, and they still hold the lead just past the midway mark of the 3rd quarter of a high school all-star game. The 80th Texas High School Coaches Association All-Star Football Game is brought to you by Ford. There's a reason why Ford is the best in Texas. Stop by your Ford dealer and drive one. And by State Farm. Visit texas.statefarm.com to get to a better state. 7-0 lead for the North. We go down to the sidelines to Jeff Power.
Yes, we're here with Mark Smith, the incoming president tomorrow for the Texas High School Coaches Association. You got to be pretty excited.
I am. It's quite an honor to be able to serve your peers and to work with them and work in this capacity with DW and Joe. It's exciting times.
Mark, of course, replacing Jim Streety over at Madison High School. Big shoes to fill there, but are you excited about the new challenge?
I am excited. I mean, I think you find out more about yourself with new challenges. I mean, sometimes I think I need to examine myself. I followed Jim Rackley and DW and Judson. Now I'm going to follow Jim Streety. So my hope is just that I can continue what he started.
And for those of you that don't know, he coached Johnny Manziel at Kerrville-Tivy. How do you think he'll do with the Cleveland Browns?
Oh, I think he'll be just fine. I think it's just a matter of time of him understanding the game a little bit more, learning what's going on, but I think he's got all the qualities it's going to take for him to be real successful.
Very good. Mark Smith, good luck this year,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Back to you, Craig.
Thanks very much, Jeff. Mark Smith's done a great job wherever he's gone. Kerrville-Tivy, Judson, and now on to San Antonio Madison to replace the legendary Jim Streety, who's retired. First down and nice little bit of improvisation on the pass. Arbuckle scrambling out of the pocket. There is a flag down, however. We've only had a couple of penalties here in this football game, but this one may be coming back.
Well, a lot of times when the quarterback starts to scramble, you get holding in the backfield. We'll see what the call is, but a lot of times when that quarterback starts to move, that's what happens.
He managed to dump the pass off to Malik Brown. That's David Booth of Lubbock, who leads the officiating crew for the second half. We told you we have 2 separate officiating crews. Now look, you see Brown take a pop there, but it came back anyway as the tackle was made outside by Khalil McCaffrey. David Booth-Lovick, the referee, the umpire Rob Sesich, George Smith of Fort Worth, the head linesman, the line judge Brian Burkhart of Georgetown, Rob Hubble of Houston, the side judge, field judge Robert Frazier of Midlothian, and Kevin Wilcox of San Antonio, the back judge. Incomplete pass. Always want to give credit to the officials. That first half crew with referee Andy Scott, the umpire Jim Peak of Commerce, Pat Clayton of Fort Worth, the head linesman, the line judge Alan Grumley of Humble, Joe Fife of River Oaks, the side judge, and field judge Dan Robertson of San Angelo, and Steve Stone of Waco, the back judge. That was your first half crew. We just told you that second half crew, an honor for those guys to get to work this game. So second down and 20 after that first down pass is incomplete for Ben Arbuckle. As the North tries to get its offense back in gear again. Back to the ground. And tough running there. DeMontes Dowell trying to turn it upfield. And once more, Michael Epley of Leander. What a job he's done in this ball game.
Well, in the second half, he's had a marvelous second half. Interesting, we've seen man, we've seen some zone. You know, defenses sometimes are easier to install than offenses are when you get into these type of 4 or 5 days of workouts. And the defense so far has really done a nice job because we've seen a combination of a little man and a little zone.
Third down and 9 for the North. Trayvon Hughes from Hebron in the backfield, along with the quarterback Arbuckle, and 4 wide receivers for the North. Arbuckle going deep up the sideline. And that ball nearly caught, and game effort up the right sideline. Nice job down that sideline trying to pull it down, but it's incomplete. It'll be 4th down. Once more, Jake Parker, who caught the touchdown pass earlier in the ballgame, almost came up with a big one there.
Boy, I tell you what, he does such a great job. He's got great body control. You don't catch as many balls and do what he's done in his career of not having it. Puts himself in great position, almost makes a huge play there.
With double coverage, nevertheless.
As well.
Clark Ashmore to punt for the North. South should get good field position coming out of this. Logan Oddie, Sam Strahan back deep to receive it, and Ashmore will kick away from Strahan. And in fact, no one will be able to field it. The North will let it roll out of bounds. And that'll be out at the 49-yard line. So, South will have good field position, but the North now has to go back to work defensively, which is what they've done all night long.
Yeah. And the South's got to get ahead of the change, Greg. They've got to find themselves in position where they're in 2nd and 5. They've just been in too many 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10 situations to allow their offense to get going. So they haven't been able to run the football the way they want to run the football, especially on 1st down.
It's at the North 49-yard line, and we've had a timeout called. So there's a timeout on the field here with 3:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's the North leading the South by a score of 7-0 here in the 80th edition of the Texas High School Coaches Association All-Star Football. Craig Way, Keith Moreland, Jeff Power. Our broadcast crew with you here from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. South going back to work, trailing the North 7-0 here as we get to the late stages of the 3rd quarter. Darryl Colbert at quarterback for the South All-Stars. Wide open, he has Walter open, and Walter with a catch and a 1st down. How about the arm strength of Darryl Colbert to go back to the wide side of the field to connect with Alston Walter for 20 yards and a 1st down to the North 29.
Well, they just slip him out of the backfield after faking the ball to him on a wheel route. He's out and up. And how about that? Right under his feet, had the arm streak because he couldn't step into that throw. That was all arm.
So it's at the 29-yard line. And once more, the North back on its heels a little bit, asked to do more defensively. The South on the move here. Colbert with a receiver, and that's Leidy with a catch and another 1st down. Chris Leidy inside the 20, a gain of 11 more down to the 18.
That's a veteran receiver. You can tell this guy's been a good receiver a long time. He just found himself, knew where he was, sort of squatted down and knew, hey, the throw's not perfect. Let me go catch the football, get the yardage we got, and get the first down. Did a nice job there. A lot of times receivers keep sliding when they're open. That time he felt that he was open. He just squatted, made the play.
Righty from that 3A Division II state runner-up team at Fairfield, going on to Abilene Christian, that transitional FCS program there. First down. Colbert hit as he throws, and it's incomplete, and the flag comes down. Daryl Colbert was really popped pretty hard. He had pressure coming from Colton Hendricks, and also pressure from Mason Reed coming from his linebacker spot. Let's check the flag.
Well, he did come down and hit the back of his head. He took a blow right there, no question.
But this is going to be a penalty against the South.
I felt like this happened in the secondary.
Offensive pass interference for 15 yards, turn the spot, no first down.
Khalil McCathern will be called for this.
They were
holding or pushing off downfield.
They had two receivers running together, and it was a pick. And it's a good call. When you have a pick, you know, the defender has no chance to get through it, and that's why the call came in. And boy, it's a big one in college. Big one in high school, too, because it carries 15 yards with it.
So instead of being first down at the 18, it's first and 25 at the North 33. Colbert under pressure, dumps it to Austin Walter, and Walter poised to get all of the yardage back and then some. All the way down to the 11-yard line, a gain of 22. Nice little screen set up to Austin Walter, and after all of that, on first and 25, it brings up second down and 3.
Walter does a nice job, but how about Colbert just buying the time? He's under extreme pressure right here, but his mobility allowed him to get open to get the ball to Walter, and then Walter shows you his speed once he gets to the corner.
So it'll be second down and 3 after all of that, a 15-yard penalty, and then a 22-yard screen to Austin Walter. Second and 3. Back to the ground to Walter, and Walter close to a first down near the 8-yard line. From first and 25, it looks like this may be first and goal at the 8. They may need to measure. Let's see where they spot the football. It is at the 8-yard line, and it should be enough. It'll be first and goal with the football just inside the 8-yard line.
Second time here in the second half that the Souths had a first down inside the 10. They turned it over and missed a field goal the last time. They got to get this ball and push it in the end zone. 5th play of the drive coming here.
First and goal from the 8. Colbert will keep it himself to the 5 and down to the 3-yard line, dancing forward for a gain of 5 yards before he takes a pretty hard hit. Among those hitting him, V.J. Banks, the free safety.
Quarterback draw here. He comes back, sets it up. This is a design running play. Colbert sticks it down. Nice job defensively. Square your shoulders and gang tackle. That's what you have to do to protect your end zone.
South has been not this deep, but they've been down, knocking at the door, trying to get their first score of the ball game here, late stages of the 3rd quarter. Williams and Walter in the backfield. And it is Austin Walter. So the 2 and brought down there after a gain of a yard. The North defense tough again, holding Austin Walter to a 1-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and goal at the North 2-yard line.
Well, I got to give a lot of credit to the defense in front of the North. They've stepped up. Huge play here. I think this is 4-down territory. Maybe a little bit different look. Sometimes you spread the field and you're still running the ball, but you spread the field to get the defense to loosen up a little bit.
3rd and goal for the South at the North 2-yard line. Again, Walter and Williams in the backfield along with Daryl Colbert. Colbert to throw, and the touchdown. Austin Walter was in the backfield, but it's Corey Williams for the score. Jacorius Williams, the Port Lavaca Calhoun fighting sand crab into the end zone.
Really good play fake. Just freezes the linebackers here. It allows Colbert to get to the outside, and he just does a nice job of allowing Williams to break open. He allowed that play to happen, and the 3-yard touchdown pass and an extra point away from tying the game.
For the conversion, Aaron Kennedy for the tie. And the kick is good. So the South does move it downfield. They get the touchdown. We've got a tie ball game. The North 7, the South 7. Let's go down to the sidelines to Jeff Powers.
All right, thanks, Greg. You appreciate that. DW Rutledge here. Right here as that touchdown happened. That was pretty exciting, wasn't it?
It was. That was a great catch.
Of course, DW, the executive director of the Texas High School Coaches Association, longtime Converse Judson coach, won 4 championships there, and also a 5th one as the defensive coordinator. Yes. How's this week been here in San Antonio with you guys?
It's been great. San Antonio is always a great venue for coaching school, and the city has always been just terrific to us. And I've always enjoyed working with the CVB, and the hotels here are great. You can get a lot of rooms within walking distance of the convention center, and our coaches love that. They love being on the Riverwalk, so it's great. And of course, the convention center really fits our needs well. So it's a great venue for us, and our coaches like coming here. You know, they love bringing their families, and that's what I like to see. I like to see, because that's a lot of times this is their vacation, you know. So.
Next year you're in Houston, Rice Stadium, first time in Houston in 11 years. You excited about that?
We are. We're excited going back to Houston. We won't be. We used to be at Reliant. We'll be at George R. Brown, and we've got a lot of hotels. We've got about 75–80% of our block within walking distance of the convention center, and our All-Star camp will be at Rice. And we're excited about that. Rice has been really good to work with, and Houston has really embraced us well too.
You know, we were talking to Bob Gillis. He's going into the Hall of Honor tomorrow. Great for him, and a lot of the other coaches like T.J. Mills also. Right. Give me your thoughts about the Hall of Honor, because every time you go to the Coaches Association, you see all those plaques, and there's all the Hall of Honor honors.
I tell you, that's the highest award that we can give a coach in the Coaches Association, and it's a real honor to get that, and we've got a Hall of Honor committee that goes through those names and selects it, and it's probably the hardest job that you have. You leave that meeting feeling really good about those that are going in, and really you got a knot in your stomach about those that you couldn't put in.
And maybe Art Briles, big name as well, right?
Art's we're excited about Art going into it. He's excited about going in. That's what's fun about it.
Very good. DW, always great to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks again for all
Thank
your work.
you.
Greg, back upstairs. Let's find out what just happened.
Well, we had quite a bit of excitement. Tyler Taylor from Waco High on the kickoff return. Look at the blocks there and the speed of Tyler Taylor, Keith Moreland.
Well, his special teams just scare you to death. He gets to the outside in space, does a nice job, and then there's going to be a penalty at the end of this play right here. It's going to lay it. It's going to add 15 to the end of the run.
I think that was whistled against Samari Wright for pulling at the helmet there of Tyler Taylor. And so 15 yards added to it, and just like that, the North right back in business.
Excellent return. South defense has been really good. 3 and out on the 2 possessions for the North here in the second half.
So from the 34 of the South, it's Tevin Muse at quarterback for the North. Has Trayvon Hughes in the backfield, so it's Muse and Hughes for the North. And Muse down the sidelines, the catch, and inside of the goal line, Jake Parker again. Parker, who scored the North's touchdown right before the end of the first half, almost gets it in the end zone right before the end of the third quarter.
Just got great body control. We talked about it in the first half. He puts himself in such great position. Quick off of the line, great first step, gets behind the secondary. And watch him move his body, get his body in position to secure the football. Almost gets it in the end zone.
First and goal for the North of the South 2-yard line. Muse getting the play call from the sideline. Parker still out there.
12 seconds to go. Got to get to the line of scrimmage to get this play off.
Now Muse back into the shotgun. Movement in the line before they can get it going.
That's dictated because of the play clock, Craig. It's just going down so low, and everybody's watching that play clock, and you're trying to get the play off. Offensive lineman can look up and see the play clock as well. He just moved knowing that we had to get it snapped.
Well, the officials discussing who moved first. One official may have thought that one of the South defensive linemen came across before the North moved, enticing the North to move. Here's another look, Keith.
Chance to see it. Yeah, you know, there is some preliminary movement, but I don't believe he got into the neutral zone at that point. We'll see what the call is. If you penetrate the neutral zone, then it can force the offensive lineman to raise out of his stance. Yes.
False start. The offense. First foul, face mask, 15 minutes, 5 yards. First penalty, after this, for the second penalty, field first down.
How about that?
That's what we were having the discussion on.
So there was a dead ball foul on the face mask after the false start on the offense. So they'll walk it back 5 yards, then half the distance. Here's another look. Now, first of all, the false start's coming from the offense.
Just a lift up of an offensive lineman, and at the end of the play, there's a face mask at the very end of the play.
Yep. So the end result is it's moved down to the 3-yard line. First and goal, outside, swinging toward the goal line, and another flag goes down as Larry Hill is stopped just shy of the goal line on the final play of the third quarter.
There's a face mask at the end of this run as well. We had a very clean first half. Here in the second half, guys are getting a little more exhausted. I mean, again, they're not in full game condition at this point. When you get tired, usually that's the first thing that happens. Instead of getting your hand off of the face mask, you get up to try to make a tackle, and that's exactly what he did.
Well, that'll move it half a yard.
Face mask, number 16, half the distance, in order.
So that'll do it, and the North will need to navigate 1/2 yard to reclaim the lead on the first play of the fourth quarter.
I don't believe that quarter can end on a defensive penalty, so I think there'll be one more snap before we go to the fourth quarter.
Yep, there'll be an untimed down coming, and so instead of walking the other way, the North will snap it one more time. Down at the end of the field. So they'll have one more opportunity to get it into the end zone, which is ironically at the south end of the stadium, as they'll try to go into the south end zone for the score.
Well, they got the ball back, Craig, with 26 seconds to go, and with the great kick return at the 34-yard line, they've officially only run 2 plays at this point.
So this should be an untimed down. They've put 12 minutes on the clock, but that should be for the fourth quarter. So Muse, the shotgun, and a loss on the play. Now they'll walk the other way, as Larry Hill was stuffed right at the line of scrimmage and maybe lost at least a 1/2 yard and maybe about 1.5 yards. Yep, all the way back to the 2-yard line. 7-7 the score at the end of the third quarter of the High School Coaches Association's annual All-Star Football Game. The 80th Texas High School Coaches Association's All-Star Football Game is brought to you by Ford. There's a reason why Ford is the best in Texas. Stop by your Ford dealer and drive one. And by State Farm. Visit texas.statefarm.com to get to a better state. Craig Wayne, Keith Moreland, Jeff Power, welcome you back to the Alamo Dome here in San Antonio. 3 quarters in the books, a 7-7 tie with the North, just 2 yards away from reclaiming the lead as we begin this fourth quarter.
The first play, the first down play, after all the penalties, 3 consecutive plays with penalties, goes for a loss. Not be surprised to see play action right here, Craig.
Second and goal for the North of the South 2-yard line. Tevin Muse at quarterback. Has Trayvon Hughes behind him as the running back. Ryan Parker and Jake Parker, the wide receivers. Muse lost the football, but came back up with it right at about the line of scrimmage, maybe lost a yard. Back to the 3, and it'll be 3rd down and goal.
But when you're not used to working with your running back, a lot of times the running back feels the ball in his breadbasket, ready to run, and that time he collapsed down on it, and as Muse tried to pull it out, you know, right there, you know, Hughes is thinking, I've got it. And, you know, when you're not used to working with each other, that situation's going to happen on the zone read.
Well, Mason Reed is checked in now into the backfield, and it is 3rd down and goal. So the North has lost a yard on back-to-back snaps. Now 3rd down and goal for the North at the South 3-yard line. Muse, the hand to Reed, and Mason Reed is across for the touchdown. Reed puts the North back in front. The Cisco Lobo headed for the South Plains of Texas Tech has given the North the lead once more.
Boy, did a nice job of finishing right here. He gets the ball about the 8-yard line, makes one move, and then finishes right there. Really that good lunge, gets his shoulders down, presses into the end zone, across the plane, and gives the North their 2nd lead of the night.
For the conversion, Matt Mars. Of course, Mason Reed led the Lobos to the Class 2A Division II State Football Championship. A great job done out there by Coach Brent West. The Lobos, as they won the title. Extra point is blocked, Howard, and this is a live ball. Picked up by Grant Aschenbeck, and Aschenbeck down the sidelines, forced out of bounds. A great job by the kicker, Matt Mars, to prevent a defensive 2-point conversion.
Absolutely, don't give up, and he did not give up, took a great angle, knew that he was probably not going to be fast enough unless he took that good angle, got the angle just enough to push him out of bounds. Penetration up the middle leads to the block, though. 13-7 lead. Special teams have come into play here. A great penetration right up the middle by
Trevor Michael Bust had the block.
Michael Bust with the block, and then he gets to the outside, and at that point, Aschenbeck just, nice job at just taking the angle. That's, as a kicker, that's your job. How can I stop this? If I have to tackle him at the 10-yard line, that's all I got to do.
And there was a personal foul call on the run back. Aschenbeck, of course, played quarterback for Jerry Long and East Bernard. They won a state title a couple of years ago when Ty Slanina was playing quarterback, now at TCU. And Aschenbeck taking it there, and he's headed for Angelo State. But Matt Mars from River Road, the kicker, even though the kick was blocked, he forced him out of bounds. And so it'll be the South football, but down 6, 11:08 to go here in this Texas High School Coaches Association All-Star football game. So we've had quite a bit of excitement here in the second half.
We have had. We've had a lot more offense at both teams, and we've had a missed field goal. And then the defense for the South really stepped up and forced 2 3-and-outs. Got great field position. A 7-play, 49-yard drive leads to the culmination of the touchdown of Colbert to Williams, ties the score. But that big kickoff return and special teams now here in the second half starting to show up. The big return led to the lead for the North, and then a nice job by Morris right there to save the 2 points.
So as a result of that, the South gets 1 point taken off the board and tried to come back with 2 more and make it just a 4-point ball game. But the North with the push out of bounds by Matt Mars. Let's go down to the sidelines to Jeff Power.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. We're here with Darrell Colbert out of Lamar High School out of Houston. The touchdown pass to Jacorius Williams, good-looking touchdown earlier, and that evened things up. Give me your thoughts about this game so far, the ebb and flow of it.
It's a good game, you know, it's competitive, and that's what I like, you know. Both teams are trying to win, both coaching staffs are calling good plays for us to make plays. You know, we just trying to make plays win, you know. We got a good momentum to swift on, because they scored, so they blocked the field goal, so, you know, we just trying to make plays.
You're headed to SMU. How excited are you to head up there up north of Dallas?
I'm very excited. You know, I'm already up there taking classes and working out with the team, you know, just learning, getting used to the program. So I'm looking forward to it this fall.
Very good. Darrell Colbert, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Back to you, Craig.
All right, thanks very much. Here's a pop-up kick. And Fair catch by Leidy, made at the 31-yard line, and that's where the South will start. 11:08 to go in this All-Star game, and a chance for the South to come back, perhaps try to take its first lead of the night.
You're right. I like what Joey McGuire's though done with his kicking game, thinking, you know, I'm going to take the return out of it. Every one of his kickoffs have been that pop-up style where they're not kicking the ball down the field, forcing either great coverage right on a pop-up kick or the fair catch.
Grant Ashenback, or excuse me, Blake Bogenschutz back in at quarterback now for the South. It's a handoff to Walter. Austin Walter upended after a short gain, a gain of maybe a yard, but North has been right to the line of scrimmage, quick on the pursuit. Again, Colton Hendricks of Argyle High School from their 3A Division II state championship team on the tackle. We said Hendricks is headed to Edmond, Oklahoma to play for the Broncos of the University of Central Oklahoma. From the 32 on 2nd and 9, Bogenschutz. Going deep, looking for Wilson. What a catch made by Wilson. And Wilson with a first down in North Territory at the 28. Jeffrey Wilson, a big grab.
Double seam routes. He had the slot receiver, and Wilson has the outside guys to split in that time. Had double seam routes. They're both running together, cut to the inside, makes it really tough on the safety. Buys enough time to get up, and then really nice grab. That's pretty good coverage that you go up against right there. We have had big plays here in the fourth quarter, haven't we?
Absolutely. This entire second half we've seen some. First down for the South at the North 28. Bogenschutz to throw again. Outside this time, and excellent defensive play made by V.J. Banks. Otherwise, Tristan Crosland from Cal Allen would have had an easy walk to the end zone.
Yeah, he has an easy walk, but also Banks almost took that ball 80 yards the other direction. Second time in the game, he's cut in front. Did a nice job here reading, and in just closing speed, does a nice job to close, and he is just a millimeter away from taking that back the other way.
Second down and 10. From the 28. Three receivers for Bogenschutz, but he'll look to keep it. A zone read keeper, and only for a couple to the 26. The big hit this time delivered by Jonah Noah of Stephenville.
This is a huge third down right here. I think you're in 4-down territory, so you might see the run here. Still like to see them get out in some space. They just have not been able to consistently get to the corners here, and they've made most of their ground either via the air or on the speed sweep when they've had an opportunity to do that. Wilson not in the backfield again now, again at a wide receiver.
Austin Walter is the man in the backfield with Blake Bogenschutz. On 3rd down and 8. From the North 26, Bogenschutz goes down. Duke Kaczynski again.
Well, he has had a marvelous football game. For Justin Northwest, headed to West Texas A&M, this is just a power speed rush, and he's just there. He beats two blockers. Not only beats the offensive tackle, he beats the running back in the backfield. No chance for that play to set up. It's going to lead to a 4th down opportunity here, but it's going to be 4th and 17.
Well, the South is keeping the offense on the field here. And Bogenschutz will stay out there. 4th down and 17 from the North 35. Walter on the carry with the North ready, and the ball came loose anyway. The North was going to get it in any event, and they'll have it. Troy Parker with the recovery. The North was going to have the football because it would not have been enough for the first down, but a little extra icing on the cake as Troy Parker comes up with the fumble recovery, and the North gets a few more yards of field position in the exchange as well. The North will have the ball.
It's interesting trying to cross him up. Sometimes you run the draw, on a third or fourth down and long. And I'm not sure he's not down right there, but we don't have replay. Ball did come out late. Second turnover of the game.
Well, the exchange is 10 yards because the North was going to get the ball anyway. It would not have been enough for a first down, but they do pick up 10 additional yards on that fumble return. So from the 40-yard line, the North operating with a lead and operating at a deficit now because DeMontez Dowell was dropped for a loss. Once more, Michael Epley and Trevor Michaelbust in on the tackle. Michaelbust is from Fort Bend, Austin. He will be joining Duke Kaczynski at West Texas A&M.
Boy, I tell you what,
those are two good linebackers.
Those are two good players. They're going to make some plays.
Good Division II program up in Canyon in the Panhandle. Second down and 14. That time placing the backfire for Luke Dacey, and yet he still turns into positive yards. Where Dacey had a big run earlier of 33 yards and really turned a difficult situation into a good yardage gain.
Yeah, he got a quick first step, though, does Dacey. He hasn't played a lot in this game, but he's made an impact in this game.
Another kid going to Canyon in West Texas A&M.
He can run the zone read. Does a nice job right there. He turned the wrong direction that time. The zone read went the other way, but he made something positive out of nothing with his feet.
Quarterback the Wall Hawks into the 2A Division I final before they fell to Cameron Yo last year. And the North is going to call a timeout here. 6:54 to play here in the football game. Timeout called by the North, who leads the South 13-7 in the Texas High School Coaches Association's All-Star Football game. Third down for the North here out of the timeout. And back to throw. Downfield, and what a catch made. Another catch made by Jake Parker. What a night Jake Parker is having. On the receiving end of the pass from Ben Arbuckle.
And Arbuckle just made a beautiful pass, but again, Parker does a great job of using his body, screening off, quick first step. Finds his eyes, gets his eyes on the football, and then adjusts to the football. Really nice catch right there in traffic. That's great coverage from Cunningham. Not much you can do about that. What a great individual effort from Parker.
Down at the 31-yard line of the South, and of course the South must have a defensive stop here. Time begins to grow short, and they certainly do not need the North putting another score on the board, making it a two-score game. Trouble there, however, and in some trouble, and going down once more is Jake Arbuckle. Or excuse me, Ben Arbuckle, as he is brought down. Back to the 35 and the loss.
Again, it's one of those situations where you turn the wrong way with the zone read, and what that, it disrupts the play. Arbuckle at that point protect the football. You got a 6-point lead, half a quarter to go, protect the football.
Loss of 4 yards on the play. It's Ben Arbuckle and nowhere to go there, and it's second down and 14 at the South 35. Back to the ground. Once more it goes to Trayvon Hughes, and Michael Epley comes up with another tackle. Epley with a fumble recovery and a tackle tonight. Several tackles. So it is third down. It is third down. And they need 11. From the shotgun, Arbuckle swings it outside to Dowell, but he's dragged down from behind by Samari Wright. And it'll bring up 4th down for the North. So the South at this point, Keith, has done its job making a stand. But obviously, I believe it's 4-down territory for the North here. They're going to have 4th down and about 5 needed for the first.
Well, he did a nice job of getting outside and getting something there, getting some positive yard, making it a much better opportunity on 4th down. Jake Parker's been as good as he has. I'm going to try to find a way to get the football in his hand here on 4th down.
Why not? Parker is out there. He's at the bottom of your screen. Arbuckle on 4th down. This time to the outside, and it's the other Parker, Ryan Parker, with a catch and a 1st down, a huge 1st down to the South 14-yard line.
Arbuckle does a nice job. He sees the coverage. It's cover 2 with no press on the corner, a lot of yards off of the ball, and because of that, he just sees that. Parker sees it too as a receiver, gets to the yardage marker, pitch and catch, 1st down.
At the South 14. And the big factor there, Keith, is now the North can run some more clock and closer to the South end zone now.
That was a huge play right there. I would expect them to put it on the ground the next couple of plays here to run some clock.
From the 14 to the end zone, Parker again can't hold it. Juggled it and had Edward Thompson all over him. But Ryan Parker unable to come up with the football.
Boy, surprised me. I don't know about you. I thought they would put that ball on the ground. They tried to get a quick 6 to the outside. Parker does everything he could do to get his hands on this football. Actually touches it twice. And he touches it on the way up as Arbuckle puts enough air under it, the old bucket ball, trying to throw it in the bucket. Gets his hands on it twice. Has it originally. It's slapped away, though, at the last minute.
2nd down from the 14. Arbuckle looking to throw again, swinging it out this time to Hill. Larry Hill Jr. brought down after a gain of only a couple. Samari Wright the tackle, but the clock moves now, and it's 3rd down.
Now the 10th play of this drive started at the 8:19 mark, and now we're almost under 4 minutes to go. So they've done a nice job in position to come away with points here.
3rd down and 8, and the North going to run some clock. In fact, they may even run it all the way down. We'll see. Of course, a field goal would make it a 2-possession game, Keith, even if they don't pick up the 1st down here. But the South, of course, has already blocked a conversion kick. Running the clock down is Arbuckle, and will keep it himself. Now will throw, and it's incomplete. And you see Joey McGuire hold up his hand saying, why did you throw it? Because it stopped the clock with 3.5 to go in the ball game, and it's 4th down. However, if the North converts this field goal, it gives them a commanding edge, a 2-score game with only 3.5 to go.
Well, you're right. Got away with it, got the ball out of his hands, might have had an offensive lineman downfield. That was a designed run that turned into a pass, got away with it though.
Matt Mars out of River Road High in the Amarillo area. A 29-yard field goal try. He's missed one and he's had an extra point attempt blocked. This to make it a 2-score game. And that kick is no good to the right. Not sure, but maybe one of the South players got a hand on that ball. So the South is still alive with 3:24 to go in the ball game.
Just didn't come off. Couldn't tell somebody got a hand on it, but it just came off with some unusual spin, and it just didn't have any carry and couldn't come back. It looked like they tried to get up. I don't believe they got a piece of it. It just got underneath it, spun out to the right. And here comes the South now with 3 timeouts and 80 yards to go to try to win the ball game.
So they certainly have time. Darrell Colbert Jr. back in at quarterback. With the pressure coming from the North. Colbert escaping one man and can't escape him the second time. And that is big to Roderick Alexander from Longview. Ran him down. Swiped down him the first time, Keith. Almost got him. And then the future member of the Savage Storm of Southeastern Oklahoma State, and Durant comes up with a stop.
Got penetration right up the middle, but didn't give up on the play. You got to love that. That's effort right there. He's the guy that made the play twice.
It's actually James Judy, 99, not 98. James Judy from Temple High, going to Navarro College in Corsicana. There's a big 99 and a big 98, and they both weigh the exact same amount. On second down, Colbert, again the pressure, and this time he will be sacked. The pressure coming from outside and then flushing him into the middle and getting up from the field. What a big job there by the North defense.
And they did a nice job. I tell you, originally, this is a coverage sack, Craig. He had time to get rid of the football, but nowhere to go with the football. Then he put it down, tried to get out of it. He collapsed, the pocket collapses on him. This is a gigantic play here. Going to be less than 2 minutes before the ball snap.
Boo Boo Alvarez moved it inside, and Zach Bishop finished it off. Third down, and 19 needed with under 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Colbert hit as he throws, and it's caught anyway, and it should be enough for the first down. Coming up with the football, what a big catch made by Jeffrey Wilson.
Colbert got hit as he delivered this football, Craig, and the ball sort of flooded on him. And he got up like it was a wounded duck up in the air a little bit as he gets pressure from the outside as he steps up. He gets hit, but Wilson does a nice job of screening the defender off with his body and come down with the first down catch.
Came back to the football, and it's a first down for the South.
Well, you got to figure they're going to start thinking about using timeouts here now, under 1:30 to go.
Coaching squad, Bob Gillis telling the team, let's go, let's go. Down to 1:20 to go. And in fact, they will go ahead and take a timeout here.
Yeah, I kind of felt like they might take a timeout right after they completed the first down because there was so much excitement on the team to get a 3rd and 19 in that scenario.
1:17 to go. The North holding on to a 6-point lead. Out of the timeout for the South, 1st and 10 from the 31. Colbert with a lot of time to throw. Now the pressure's coming, and he has to get rid of the football. It's incomplete. Keithy had a lot of time there, but excellent coverage by the North secondary.
They did a nice job. They had everybody doubled up. That was covered too with inside pressure. Colbert got to the outside, and everybody was deep. There was nobody within 30 yards of Colbert, so he was going to have to give the ball up downfield. But you got to give credit to the linebackers. He didn't have space to put it down and take off and run.
So it's 2nd down, 10 from the 31. 1:09 to play in the football game, and the North leading the South 13-7. The South with a last-ditch effort to come down and win the ball game, a game they have not led tonight. Colbert with the pressure coming. Got to get rid of it, and Colbert does, and it's caught. What a big catch made, and a first down for the South. Logan Oddie across the middle. The Katy Tiger moves it all the way down to the North 46-yard line. That's a gain of 23 yards.
Starts out all the way on the left-hand side. He just doesn't give up on the play as Colbert buys time, goes to the outside, evades 2 different tacklers, keeps his eyes downfield, and then Oddie right there coming all the way across the field for the first down.
Got out of bounds, stopped the clock with 58 seconds to go. South still with 2 timeouts. At the North 46. Pressure coming again, and they set up the screen to Arthur, but he is in jail and dropped for a loss. A late flag comes in. Zach Bishop in the tackle, but hold everything. There's a flag down, and in fact, Bob Gillis was about 10 yards onto the field, signifying something.
Well, he's also wanting to get time out. That's what he wanted to get.
Well, they're still discussing this. Take another look at it.
Well, he gets the pressure trying to set up the screen, and he kicks it to the outside. Walter has nowhere to go. He tries to cut back to the inside. Ooh, that was a vicious block. I don't think there was anything wrong with that block. I don't think he tried to go after him in a head-to-head contact. I believe that's what the penalty is on the block, because it was helmet-to-helmet contact for more of a targeting situation. But I believe the defender went down at the last minute when he came back to make the block, as Vasquez was coming back in.
On the offense, 77, 10-yard penalty for the previous spot, 2 first down.
Well, that all goes bad for the South, but it's a spot foul back to the 44-yard line now. It's still first down, but it's down to 50 seconds to go. Back to throw. Parker goes down. Once more pressure coming, this time as Colbert goes down. Jonah Noah on the sack, and the South has to use its second timeout here, Keith.
Well, just getting great pressure from the outside. They're just teeing off from the outside. No running back chip or anything to the outside, and the defensive ends are just taking off, getting in the backfield in a hurry, as Noah just gets around the corner that time, and Walter did not pick him up. The tailback that time did not reach out to a chip block to the outside, get that help. That chip block really helps in those situations, especially when you're trying to get the ball down the field, because this is going to be second down and 30 at this point, 25 at least.
So timeout number 2 taken. And if you're Bob Gillis, what are you talking about what you can do here with 44 seconds to go?
Well, but since it's second down, I think you might see some type of bubble screen, because the defense is playing in a prevent situation. The safeties are both 15 to 18 yards deep. So it might be an opportunity to try to get the ball in Jeffrey Wilson's hands, maybe on a bubble screen, get him in some open space into the secondary. Even though it's a short pattern, put yourself in position, maybe he can get somebody to miss a tackle.
So,
I mean, the safety at this point is 18 yards deep here on 2nd and 25.
From the shotgun, here's Colbert. Again, a deep drop to escape the pressure. Now downfield, almost intercepted by Calvin Bryant of Dangerfield. Almost picked off.
That time, Colbert got himself in position right away. His first move to get to the outside was to look back on a throwback situation. That was taken by the linebackers, did a nice job there, and then he gets to the outside, forces this pass, and a nice job by Jeffrey Wilson to keep it from being picked off.
So, it is now third down. The ball is at the 36-yard line, and it's 3rd and 28. And a false start is going to add to the South's trouble.
Now you're going to have to force this ball down the field. There's certain times when you want to protect the football, but screens, bubble screens, those kind of things are not going to work right now. You're going to have to get this ball at least 15 to 18 yards down the field, see if somebody can make a play in space.
Well, the South was able to get it all the way down to the North 46, and they've gone backward since.
Many 3rd and 33 plays you have in your playbook?
No. Maybe you can split it up into 2 17-yard plays. South down to 1 timeout. 3rd and 33, and Colbert's going to heave it downfield. And that is almost intercepted by Dirk DeVries. It'll bring up 4th down.
Dirk is quite upset, still down on the carpet. Said, oh, I had my chance for a pick, had it right in my hands, and just couldn't come up with it. But that's what you have left right now. If you're playing defense here, this is one of those situations where you just know it's going to be one of those old bucket throws where the quarterback lays it up as far as he can lay. He does everything he can do to stay behind the receiver. Just doesn't come up with the football.
Final gasp for the South here. 4th down and 33 from the 31-yard line. They must reach the North 36. Colbert downfield, and it's incomplete. It was right at the first down marker, and Sam Strahan almost came down with it. It would have moved the chains.
It was just, what a great individual effort by Daryl Colbert here to find enough time. He just keeps moving around, knows he's going to get hit, throws this ball right on a missile. You're right. Would have been enough maybe for the first down. This has been a really entertaining ball game, a very physical ball game, more physical than most of the All-Star games I've had the opportunity to watch.
Absolutely. I'd say this is the most physical in the 30 years that I've been at coaching school. And a little bit of extra chatting going on, so the officials say, hey, that's all right, let's break it up. Don't think that these guys don't want to win the game.
Oh, absolutely.
Every year when I've come to coaching school, and every year when I sit down with these All-Stars, I ask them the same question. I say, do you guys really want to win, or is it a chance to show what you can do? And they say both, but we really want to win.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And the North is about
victory formation.
Yep. And the final snap of the game will be taken by Tevin Muse. Very hard-fought game, very physical game. But the North All-Stars are going to win it for the 43rd time in 80 meetings between the North and the South. The North All-Stars come away with the victory, and with last night's basketball victory, the North makes it a clean sweep of this year's Texas High School Coaches Association All-Star football games. The final score tonight, the North 13 and the South 7. And what a battle it was throughout this game. Wasn't decided till very late.
Well, I tell you what, the difference in Jake Parker, in my opinion, I hope he is the offensive player of the game, because he was the difference. His ability to make plays was very important for the North. You look at the South, missed opportunities. I think if you go back and look at it, they had their opportunities. They just couldn't sustain any drives. Bob Gillis talked to us at halftime and said, hey, that's been our problem. We get something going, we just can't keep it going and get into the end zone.
As a result of that, it's the North that wins it. They have a 43-31-6 edge overall in this All-Star series. It started all the way back in 1935, the 80th high school All-Star football game. And once more, the trophy will go to the North as they win this. And we'll also tell you the offensive and defensive players of the game coming up momentarily. Also, we'll hear from Jeff Power down on the field, as he'll look to visit with the coaches down on the field as well. But a 13-7 win for the North All-Stars. And Joey McGuire has an All-Star game victory to go with his state championship, his 2 state titles that he has won at Cedar Hill, including the one just completed in 2013.
Well, both these teams played hard, they competed hard, and you're right, Joey McGuire comes up with the victory. He's an excited coach right there. You get an opportunity to see him right there in the middle of that hurdle. It gets a little bit of a Gatorade bath right there.
Well, he had an awful lot of fun with it. Let's go downstairs to Jeff Power.
All right, first of all, we're here with Coach Bob Gillis here from El Campo. Your team falls just a bit short, but nonetheless, it was a good physical game.
I'm going to tell you something. It was a physical football game. I know Coach McGuire and I talked about it. Of course, we'd like to score a lot of points, but both teams played their hearts out. We just came a little short.
You got a big day coming up tomorrow, part of the Hall of Honor. How exciting is that?
Very exciting. I hope I have a voice, but very exciting. And like I say, it ought to be a lot of fun tomorrow.
You deserve it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bob. Appreciate it. All right, Craig, back upstairs to you. We'll be back with Joey McGuire here in just a second.
All right, thanks very much. And they announce offensive and defensive players of the game here, and they have told us the offensive and defensive players of the game. The offensive player of the game, as you thought it would be, Keith, it's Jake Parker of White House.
Well, he was outstanding. Great body positioning, really understands how to play wide receiver. He's going to have a great career playing wide receiver. He's made a lot of different plays. Big plays in the game. Is he able to go up, come down with the football, as he does here in a crucial time, right when the South right back in the ball game on a big third down comes up with the play, pulls down a touchdown pass earlier in the ball game.
Before we tell you more on that, let's go back down to the field to Jeff Power.
All right, we're here now with Joey McGuire. First of all, what a game. Tell me real quick about this matchup and how good this was.
Well, you know, it's total opposite of last year. They scored a bunch of points last year, and this was a defensive football game. I tell you, we said it at halftime, the effort that these kids gave is incredible. The effort that these kids gave was just incredible. To be in an all-star game and hit and run and everything that they did was incredible.
Hey, let's get Jake Parker over here, but I want to ask you real quick about his performance because he ends up getting an MVP honor.
Well, you know, his dad said whenever we came in, throw it up to him and he'll go get it. And sure enough, he went and got it.
He did.
Yes, sir.
Out of White House, they know how to put it up in the air, don't they?
Hey, those East Texas boys can play football.
Final thoughts is that you get ready for Cedar Hill coming up this fall. Can you repeat?
Well, I tell you, if we stay healthy and we do things right, then we're going to definitely make a run at it.
Okay, very good.
All
Joey,
right.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Celebrate. He's a little wet. He got a Gatorade bath. Back up to you, Craig.
All right, thanks very much, Jeff. And I'm going to tell you, Joey McGuire knows something about offensive weapons. He's got one of the best in the state in DeMarcus Lodge, who will try to lead Cedar Hill to a repeat and make it back-to-back state titles.
Well, I wouldn't bet against him, put it that way.
Yeah, no question about it. North wins the high school all-star game. The final score, 13-7. And we'll be back right after this. Celebration continues on the field. We told you about the offensive player of the game, Jake Parker. How about on the defensive side? It was the Duke, Duke Kaczynski, Keith Moreland, who had a tremendous game defensively for the North.
He had great penetration, did a great job on the outside. He had 3 sacks in the game. Tackles for losses are big in this type of football game. And the North did everything they needed to do. Parker on the offensive side, Kaczynski on the defensive side. They also got some help from the fact is that they could maintain drives. They kept the ball. They played ball control, especially in the second half, where it didn't give the South the opportunity. The time they got the football back, they only had 2 minutes and 50 seconds to try to put it in the end zone.
There were a couple of big defensive and special teams plays, and we'll get to that coming up. But right now, let's go back down to the field to Jeff Power.
Jake Parker now joining us. Jake Parker out of White House. You had a touchdown grab and an MVP to go with it. How did that feel?
Man, it felt great just to be able to play my last high school game and come out on top. The quarterbacks gave me a chance to go up and get the ball, and I did.
And you learned a lot of that over at White House, didn't you?
Oh, yes, sir. Having a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes and playing the offense we did, it was just, I was used to all of this.
Jake Parker, MVP. Back up to you, Craig.
All right, thank you very much, Jeff Power. So Jake Parker, the offensive MVP, the defensive MVP, Duke Kaczynski. It's a good all-star game.
It was a really good all-star, very physical all-star game. And not a lot of scoring. Sometimes we don't get scoring, sometimes you do.
The North will get the victory. Final score, 13-7. For my partner, Keith Moreland, also for Jeff Power and our entire crew, I'm Craig Way. We thank you for joining us, and we say good night from San Antonio, where the North has won the Texas High School Coaches Association's 80th All-Star Game. Good night.